Hello, and welcome to Southport Congregational Church's Mission Partner Interviews with representatives from each of our charities we support here in the greater Bridgeport community. Today, we are here with Vince Santilli, CEO and Executive Director of Homes for the Brave. Good morning, Vince.
Good morning, Reverend Laura. It's great to be here. Great to see you, albeit on a computer screen.
It's great to be with you as well. So I was wondering if you could tell our viewers a little bit about what Homes for the Brave is about.
Well, Homes for the Brave opened back in 2002, initially to serve homeless male veterans. And so the men's facility and transitional house on Park Avenue was opened in 2002. That has 42 beds, of which 37 are allocated to homeless male veterans. In 2005, Homes for the Brave then opened Waldorf House in the Black Rock section of Bridgeport, and that has 9 beds, and that's a permanent home, not transitional, in which the men, it opened in 2005, we have men that have lived there for 10, 12 years. And then in 2011, in the west end of Bridgeport, about 5 minutes away from our headquarters, we opened the PFC Nicholas A. Medeiros Home for Female Veterans. That has 14 beds. It's for female veterans and their young children, and that is the only home in the state of Connecticut exclusively for female veterans and their young children. And it's just a beautiful home.
That's an amazing thing to do, to house homeless veterans. How many veterans do you think are homeless in Connecticut, and just generally?
Well, we're waiting for this year's homeless count, which took place in January. And I mean, every year, nationwide, by the way, that number is 40,000. Wow. Connecticut, I think, generally speaking, has done a remarkable job, but how many are not counted and are never counted?
Right.
And in our case, if they're residing here, they technically count as being sheltered. And and some of the men that we receive here at the men's house are sometimes coming from prison. And so obviously if they're serving prison time, they also don't count as being homeless at that point in time. But when their term expires, then they will immediately become homeless.
Right. So certainly sheltering them and then providing long-term housing for them is an amazing kind of thing to do. Do you have any other programs that these veterans receive? I assume they get fed meals.
Oh my goodness, do we ever? So of course, it's a beautiful space that they have. And we also have, obviously they're fed, as you mentioned, and the meals are wonderful. We have case management services. Each of the gentlemen is assigned to case manager. Same thing with the women at our female house. We also have a vocational program. So those that are work ready and are still of working age, are then receive vocational services, everything from interview prep to helping with their job search, to getting them, ready to then become employed, and not just to obtain a position, but to retain that position. Mm-hmm. And so that is a big piece of what we do. And we get our metrics from both New England and nationally, and we typically run very close to the top, if not at the very top of all programs that serve veterans across the country in vocational placement of our men that are enrolled and women that are enrolled, and helping them find employment. And that's not always easy, especially when you're trying to overcome criminal histories, which is more typically the case with our male veterans.
Right. That's amazing.
In addition to those programs, we also have a walk-in, drop-in veteran service center. So this is for not just our residents, but for any veteran in this area can then come in, and we have computer classes, job prep workshops. 2 different therapy dogs visit us each month. We show a Friday afternoon movie. We have an Alcoholics Anonymous group that meets here weekly. We have all those things going on, and we have, and so this is just a wonderful resource for veterans out there that perhaps are either homeless or at risk of becoming homeless, or are just looking for a place to interact and interface with other veterans. And then in 2019, we started a mental health program. So we hired Dr. Stephanie Lynham, who is our chief clinical officer. And so therefore we can help, and Steph can meet with them, men and women that are struggling with mental health and or overcoming addictions. And she just does a remarkable job and is an amazing resource that we never had from 2002 when we opened until 2019. And that's something that, you know, we hired her from the VA, and she is just, I think, a remarkable beacon for these men and women that can really help them with their recovery.
Well, that's a great thing, because I think we're all becoming more aware that as important as physical health is, mental health is equally important. And there's no shame in needing help with emotional issues and kind of thing. So that's a fabulous addition. So those are a lot of programs that you're running, Vince. So I imagine funding is difficult at best. And I was reading your annual report, and I saw that your federal and state funding used to be at 74% and dropped down to 49% of your budget. But donations from private, I assume private people and maybe their foundations, has gone from 19% up to 40%. So can you talk a little bit about how people can help Homes for the Brave?
Absolutely. And that certainly, Reverend Laura, finances, that's our biggest challenge, because we want to not just maintain the programming that we have, but even enhance and expand that programming, as I mentioned we've been doing. And so that's not done for free. And so what we've done is just much more vigorous outreach, and also our fundraising events. I think we've been really fortunate, and we don't have tons of events during the year. We typically have one each quarter, and we've really enhanced and expanded those and the results that we've generated from those fundraising events. And so the flip side of the monies from Hartford and Washington, D.C., being in just a 3-year period, in 3 budget years, they went from 74% of our revenue pie down to 49%. At the same time, our outreach and funds generated from outreach went from 20% in 2016 to 53% in 2019. So we're trending in the direction that we need to, and we can never do that without partners like Southport Congregational Church. Without many of your members of your congregation have also individually been extremely generous to us, and you know, that's something we're just so grateful for, because without that we cannot keep the wheels turning here.
Right. So if people, well, let me just say we are thrilled to be part of the Homes for the Brave team over there. So if people wanted to help you out, what are some of the things that they could do?
Well, it's funny, because what we say is there's room on the bus for everybody. And so some people come on Thursday afternoons, and we have life skills workshops every Thursday, that the programming here, I'll bet you, is better than anything anywhere in the country. And those life skills workshops rotate between financial services, nutrition, wellness, and daily living skills. And it used to be we always had staff presenting those. Now we have all external facilitators, and those are usually booked 2 or 3 months down the line, with people that they'll come here and present to our male and female veterans, and the next time you see them, they're on TV giving people tips and so forth and so on. So that's one way. We've had, like, Southport Congregational Church has had groups, including yourself, Reverend Laura, that have come and cooked wonderful meals, and not just been cooked and served the meal, but then sat down with the veterans and had wonderful conversations. And for our men and women, that just, you know, that's a change of pace, that they're not then seeing, you know, the same people, but they're getting to interface and have great conversations with others. And then, of course, you know, financially, we've had folks support our events or donate to our programming, and that can be done right on our website, www.homesforthebrave.org. And so those are things that in every way, shape, and form help sustain us.
Well, that's terrific. And we hope that this video helps it well to get the message out about the amazing things that Homes for the Brave is doing for homeless veterans in the Bridgeport area. So thanks so much for being with me, Vince.
Oh, it was my pleasure, Reverend Laura. And again, we look forward to seeing you very soon at the church, and just keep up the wonderful work. And please give Reverend Paul my best as well.
I will do. Thanks so much. Thanks for joining us for this Southport Congregational Church Mission Partner interview with Vince Santilli. To find out more about Homes for the Brave and its commitment to homeless veterans, please follow the link below. And to find out more about Southport Congregational Church, our missions and programs, and to join us live for Sunday worship, click our link below. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you.